Hello everyone, today we are going to start our new topic, that is center of gravity and moment of inertia. So let's start with the definitions of the center of gravity and the centroid first, then we will proceed to the moment of inertia. So first one is the introductory part, that is having the definitions of center of gravity and centroid. So first take the center of gravity. Now what is the meaning of center of gravity? Actually, a body is composed of number of particles. Suppose this is a body, any shape, irregular shape body. This is a body, suppose right here. It is having n number of particles here. Okay, so this body is composed with n number of particles, and the weight of these particles acts in the vertically downward direction. This is a particle, it is having a weight which is acting in a downward direction. This particle is also having a weight which is having a downward direction. Why? Because the downward direction, because due to the center of because of the gravitational force. Due to the gravity or a gravitational force, the direction of the weight of these particles is in downward. Okay, so all these forces are like parallel forces. These all the forces means all the weights acting downward, they are all like that, the like parallel forces. So a point in the body through which resultant of these parallel forces acts is called as the center of gravity. Actually these are all the parallel forces, so all these parallel like forces will have a resultant. Suppose this is the resultant for all these parallel parallel forces, this is the resultant. Then we can say that the point in the body, means this is the point in the whole body through which resultant of these parallel forces act is called as the center of gravity. Means this point, about this point the whole weight of the body is concentrated. The whole weight of the body is concentrated through this point, then this point is called as center of gravity. Okay, so center of gravity of a body is a point in the body through which the entire weight of body is supposed to act. Okay, so it is represented by actually Cg, like this, C and G, it is represented by Cg. The point of center of gravity of a body depends upon its shape and not on its position. Actually the shape is responsible for the deciding where the point of center of gravity acts. Actually if this is the shape, suppose this is the shape and which is having its maximum portion on this part, then center of gravity lies near to this corner. Okay, means what I am trying to say is that the center of gravity depends on the shape of the body, but it does not depends upon the position where the body is kept. Okay, suppose this body is kept from 5 meters from the ground surface, or suppose it is placed from 10 meters above the ground surface. It doesn't depend upon the position. Actually it depends on the shape of the body. What is the shape of the body? So we can say that the center of gravity can be calculated by considering the shapes of the body. So we will see it further, what is the formula for center of gravity. Okay, the point of center of gravity of a body depends upon its shape. So this is the conclusion. The center of gravity of a body may or may not necessarily lie within the boundary of the body. This is also an important point. Actually what happens, suppose this is a L-shaped body, this is a L-shaped body. So we can't say that the center of gravity will lie in this shape only. Center of gravity may lie outside also based on the shapes. Okay, so if this shape is placed in any plane, suppose xy plane, in xy plane this is placed, this is the xy axis, then it is not necessary that the center of gravity will lie in this area only, the area of the surface. It may lie here. Okay, so now we have seen that the center of gravity of a body is a point through which the whole weight of the body is assumed to be act for any orientation of the body. Okay, so now the center of mass of a body is also a point through which the entire mass of a solid body may assume to be concentrated. Now what is the concept of center of mass? Center of mass means the whole mass of body is assumed to be concentrated through a single point. Here what we have said, the whole weight of the body is assumed to be concentrated through a single point. Now what we are seeing, the whole mass of the body is assumed to be concentrated at a single point. Unless and until the g value is constant, the center of mass can be equal to center of gravity. If the g value means gravitational force value is differing from place to place, then center of mass will not be equal to center of gravity, because what is the value of what is the formula for weight? Weight is equal to mass into acceleration due to gravity. If this g is differing from place to place, then this m and w will not be same, and we have to define center of mass separately from the center of gravity. Okay, so in our case, means in a practical case, what happens, center of mass always lies over the center of gravity only. These points are colliding always. So now I have explained you the meaning of center of gravity and center of mass. There comes one another term, that is centroid. Now what is a centroid? It is a very simple term. It is having a same definition as of center of mass and center of gravity, but instead of using a mass word here, weight word here, we have to use a word that is called as plane surface. So if we are saying about a two-dimensional thing or a plane surface, then we have to use a word that is centroid. Means the whole area of the surface is assumed to be concentrated at a single point, then that point is called as centroid. I hope you have understand the meaning of center of gravity, center of mass and centroid. Okay, so now let's proceed to the next article, that is the determination of centroid. Okay, so next on taking on next slide, determination. Actually centroid can be determined by the method of first principle or by the integration. Means the centroid, if we denote it by x bar and y bar, so x bar will be equal to integration of x dA divided by a. This will be the formula to find the value of x bar, that is centroid of x, and y bar, to calculate y bar we have to use this y dA divided by a. This is the formula based on integration method. Okay, integration, or you can also say that first principle. This is the direct formula, we don't need to drive these formulas. Okay, so x bar value is depends on this formula and y bar on this formula. Now the next method is the method of principle of moment. Okay, so principle of moment. Now based on this we can write here x bar value as sum of a1 x1 divided by a, and y bar as sum of a1 y1 divided by a. How this come? We can see these terms x bar and y bar while solving the problems. Okay, so you will not get confused. You won't be confused when solving the problems, that using these x bar and y bar formulas. Okay, so during solving the problems I will show you what is the meaning of these things. Okay, now let's proceeding to the next article, that is position of centroid of a plane geometrical figures. Okay, so actually this is not a question, this is we are going to drive a standard formula for a case of triangle. Okay, so centroid of triangle we are trying to get what is the value of centroid of triangle. This is a formula actually. So what we will do here, we will take a triangle like this. This is the shape of a triangle, and this triangle is placed in a xy plane. Suppose this is the x plane denoted by x, and this is the y plane. This triangle is placed like this. Okay, so to analyze this triangle to get the centroid values, let us consider a small strip. Suppose this is the strip we have considered here, and the width, this is the width of the strip is dy. Suppose this is the thickness of the strip and its width is, suppose this is the total width is b, then the width of the strip is suppose b1, and second thing is that the total height of the triangle is h, then the height of this strip is y from the x-axis, that is x plane. Okay, this is the origin, suppose it is denoted by y. So considering this triangle of base b and height h, now we are saying that b1 is the width of the strip. Strip is having a thickness of dy, as I have already said, and this strip is placed at a distance of y from the base of the triangle. Now with using the similarity of the triangle, means this is one of the triangle and this is another triangle, these two are the triangles, we can write here b divided by h. Means what is b? B is this the width base, and this is h height. This b by h can be written as b1 by this much distance, means b1 divided by, now how much is this distance, the total h minus y, then you will get this much distance, so total h is minus y. Like this we can write with the help of similar triangles. Then we will get the b1 value, means width of the strip, that is b1 is equal to b divided by h, this forwarding this h minus y to this side is h minus y. Like this we have found the b1 value. Okay, so after getting this b1 value we can find out the area of elemental strip. This is the elemental strip, means this is a strip, small strip. We have to calculate the area of strip. Okay, you can also write it as the elemental strip. We know that this is a strip, so we have written directly here area of the strip. It is elemental, means it is very small, then we will denote it by dA, not by a but by dA. So dA is, we can see here that this strip is looking to be a rectangle, so the area of rectangle is b1 by d, means base by height. So b1 by dy we can write here b1 by dy, this is dy not d, this is dy. Okay, so this is dy, b1 by dy is this, and we have found here b1 value is, so placing here b by h into h minus y and writing this dy like this here only. Okay, so area of strip we have calculated in this way, b by h into h minus y into dy. Now writing the area of whole triangle, now trying to write the area of whole triangle. Now what we do, we have to integrate this strip, means taking all these considering all these strips over this triangle, means we have to integrate this strip, then you will get the total strips. So integrating this value, that is dA, this is the area, this is dA, it is denoted by dA, and it is having from 0 to h, this is h value, so limits are between 0 to h. And we have found this dA value to be b by h into h minus y dy, so writing here 0 to h, writing all these things, means the value of dA b by h into h minus y into dy. So now area of whole triangle is denoted by capital A, that is equal to, integrating these things, what is there actually, this b by h into h minus y, so we have to integrate with respect to y, means dy we have to integrate, so b by h is a constant values, so writing b by h this here, then we can write here we have to integrate h minus y with respect to dy, means h is a constant, integrating h means y will come here, and integrating y with respect to dy means y square by 2 will come. Okay, and limits are 0 to h. Now applying these limits to this bracket, you will get bh by 2, means we have found the area of the triangle. Area of triangle is bh by 2. We all know that area of triangle is given by half base into height, so this, in this way we have proved the area of triangle also. Now taking the moment of elemental strip from the base of the triangle, where is the base of the triangle, this is the base of the triangle. What we are doing now, we are taking the moment of inertia of this strip. Now taking the moment of inertia of this strip with respect to this base, then we can write here the total area of the strip is dA. Okay, moment of strip, taking moment of strip, so dA is the total area of this strip and y is the distance, that's why we are multiplying it by y. Okay, and it is equal to y into dA. And what we have found here, what we have already found, that the value of dA, this dA is equal to b by h minus y into dy. So we will write here b by h minus y into dy and multiplying this y. Like this we have written this dA into y. Okay, so this, here is also a y, here is also y, so it will get cancelled actually, and but instead of cancelling, what we will do, we will multiply this y here. Okay, and because we have to keep this dA into y, because it is equal to, actually we have found this dA into y from the moment of strip, so we will keep it as it is, but we will multiply this y with this term, so we will get b by h into h into y minus y square into dy, like this we will get here. So after getting these things, now we have to use the equation. Actually I have said already that the centroid can be calculated with the help of two methods, that is using the integration method, or second one is this one, using the principle of moment. So using this integration method or the first principle method, I can write here the equation like this: y bar is equal to integration of y dA whole divided by a. This is the formula to calculate the y bar, and this can also be written as a into y bar, means placing this a here, this is equal to integration of y dA. Now we have the values of dA. Okay, y dA, we have the value of y dA here, y dA, this value we have. Which is this value? This one is the value, b by h by minus y square into dy. We will write here directly, and a y bar we will write here in the left hand side direction. So a y bar is equal to this, the limits are from 0 to h, we are taking the limits also. So replacing this y dy by its value, that is b by h into hy into y square dy, this value found already. Now we have to integrate this with respect to y, so b by h will become constant, b by h is constant, and here hy square by 2 minus y cube by 3 after integrating, the limits are 0 to h, and this is a y bar. Okay, and a value we also found is half base into height, so half base into height, and this is y bar. So after calculating, means placing these h values in this bracket, you will get bh by 2 into y bar is equal to bh square by 6. Actually this h is what? It is y only. Okay, you can call it as a y only. This h we can call it as a y only, because in our figure we have written, actually we have written y here, we have written h only, so we will keep h only. Okay, so h is okay here, no problem with it. If we have denoted with y, then we have to replace h by y, but in our figure we have taken h only, so we will keep it as it is. Now cancelling this h on both the sides, here and here, and placing, also cancelling the b values, and placing and transferring this to value here, you will get the y bar value to be equal to, y bar is equal to, after calculating these things, it is h by 3. So in this way y bar value, it is centroid of y bar is calculated. Okay, so centroid of a triangle will be at a distance of h by 3 from the base. What we have taken, we have taken this triangle in xy plane, this was the y plane, this was the x plane, and what we have analyzed with the help of the from the base. So from base, what we have found, y bar value from the base to be h by 3. Okay, h by 3, as this is the triangle having a symmetry about this y axis, it was obvious that this center of gravity point will lie on this line, but where does it will lie? We have found that it is lying on the h by 3. Okay, so it will lie here, something, it is having something here, h by 3, it will lie here. Okay, so at a distance of h by 3. So in this way we can find the centroid of all the standard figures, that is here we have found about triangle. You can also find for rectangle, for circular shape, for semicircular shape. Okay, so for different shapes you can easily calculate this x bar and y bar value. X bar and y bar values, after calculating those things, I can directly write here for standard shapes, that is for rectangle, for isosceles triangle, okay, it is also a standard shape, it is also having a standard shape. Right angle triangle, means we are trying to calculate the center of gravity or centroid values for these shapes. we can also consider here circle. Okay, so it will have x bar value and y bar value centered in x bar and y bar. So rectangle will have p by 2, this will have d by 2. Suppose if the shape is like this, means this is the rectangle having width and depth like this. Okay, so for isosceles triangle, also x bar is v by 2 and y bar is h by 3. Just now I have calculated this value, y bar value, and shown you what is the centroid of y bar. Now for right angle triangle, it may be v by 3 and here h by 3. Okay, for circular shape, x bar and y bar will be r. So like this, in this way you can write all the values. For semicircle also you can write the x bar and y bar value. X bar will be r, because what is the shape of semicircle? Semicircle, if it is placed on xy plane, it will have a shape like this. Okay, so this is the r value. Okay, up to this point there is r value. Okay, so this from x bar, if we try to calculate x bar means distance from y axis, it is having a r distance. Okay, so I have written here r. And what about y bar? Y bar is 4r by 3 pi. After calculating, you will get these values. Okay, so for quarter circle, circular sector, line, parabola, semi-parabola, all these trapezium, all these figures, you can calculate various centroids. Okay, now the centroid of composite section. Now what is the meaning of composite section? First of all, we should know this. What is the meaning of composite section? Composite section means a surface or a body made up of different shapes. Okay, different shapes means what? Suppose this is a rectangular shape and this is a square attached to it. Suppose this is a square and this is a rectangular, and one more circular shape is also attached to it. This types of shape is called as the composites. Okay, these are the composites. Okay, so composite shape or composites we can write here. So to calculate the centroid of these things, what we have to do, we have to use a formula that is for centroid, that is x bar is a1 x1. As I have said you, to calculate the centroid there are two methods, integration method and method of principle of moment. So using the second method, that is principle of moment, we can calculate the x bar value and y bar value. X bar is x1 y1. Suppose this is area 1, it is having x1 centroid. This is area 2, it is having x2 centroid. This is area 3, it is having x3 centroid. Okay, like this, x bar is a1 x1 plus a2 x2 plus up to n number of surfaces attached to a body, single body made up of single body. Then this will be divided by a1 plus a2 plus up to a3 plus up to n number of things. Okay, so here we can write like this, and y bar also we can write with the formula a1 y1 plus a2 y2 plus up to n number of bodies divided by a1 plus a2 up to n number of bodies. Okay, so in this way you can calculate the centroid of the composite sections also. While taking the problems, you will get clear about these formulas also. Okay, so now moving to the theoretical portion only from this topic, and keeping a different live lecture for the problems, solving of the problems, we will proceed further. Now we will proceed to the moment of inertia part. Okay, so what is the meaning of moment of inertia? We have to understand first this thing, moment of inertia. Okay, we have seen that if suppose that area or a line about any point is the moment of line or area. What we have seen already, the moment of line or area about any point is the product of magnitude of line or area and the perpendicular distance between them. Actually what we have seen, moment is equal to area multiplied by moment of area, suppose, then area multiplied by perpendicular distance. We have seen this. Suppose this factor area into perpendicular distance is again multiplied by its perpendicular distance, then it is called as second moment of area. What it is called as? It is called as second moment of area. Second moment of area, and this term is only called as the moment of inertia. So what is moment of inertia? It is the second moment of area or a second moment of line. Okay, so depending upon the case in which we are saying about this, Suppose we are saying about area, then it is second moment of area. We are saying about line, then it will be second moment of line. So moment of inertia is nothing but a moment of inertia. Okay, moment of a area means saying twice moment of a area means it is a moment of inertia. Okay, so moment of inertia is generally it is the second moment of area or the mass, but basically what is the moment of inertia? Moment of inertia of a area or moment of inertia is applied in a structural design, while mass moment of inertia applied in a dynamics of rigid bodies. Okay, so as I have said, mass, here I have written area, and the next one is for mass, area and mass. So second moment of area and second moment of mass, there are the two concepts. If we are saying about just for the structural design concepts, then we have to take this mass moment of inertia, but only we have to speak about the area, then we have to take this mass moment of inertia, means for area only, second moment of area. Okay, so now what is the unit of moment of inertia? Actually what I have said here, area into perpendicular distance. What is the unit of area is square meter, and what is the unit for distance? It is meter. And now we are again multiplying it with the perpendicular distance, means again here will be meter. So meter square into meter is meter raised to 4. So unit of moment of inertia is meter raised to 4. This is the unit of moment of inertia. Okay, now saying about the polar moment of inertia concept. What is the polar moment of inertia? Actually what happens, suppose this is a particle. This particle, if we try to locate this particle with respect to a axis, suppose this is the axis which is coming out of your screen, means it is a z axis, suppose it is y axis, here it is x axis, and third perpendicular axis is coming out from your screen. Suppose we have taken the moment about this axis which is coming out from your screen, then that moment is called as a polar moment of inertia. Okay, means moment of inertia about z axis is called as polar moment of inertia, and it is represented by Iz is equal to Ix plus Iy. What happens, this polar moment of inertia becomes equal to the moment of inertia about x axis and moment of inertia about the y axis. Okay, so we have to remember this concept that Iz is equal to Ix plus Iy. And the second term now in this moment of inertia chapter is radius of gyration. Okay, so speaking about this radius of gyration of a body is defined as the distance at which whole area of a body may supposed to be concentrated about an axis of reference. Okay, suppose this is the body, and for this body there are n number of particles, and these n number of particles will impart their load in the downward direction. Okay, so these are like parallel forces, then it will have one resultant, it will acting at certain point. Okay, this is the point. Suppose this resultant is acting at this point is having a distance of, suppose this is the distance from this reference axis to be k, then this k is called as radius of gyration. Okay, so what is the radius of gyration? It is the distance from the axis of reference to the point from which the whole mass or the area is supposed to be concentrated. Okay, so I hope you have understand the meaning of radius of gyration. As I have said, this is the distance from the axis of reference. The unit of the radius of gyration will be meter, or it may be centimeter. Okay, so writing SI unit as a meter here. Okay, now the technical term, that is formula for K is, it is equal to I divided by A. Suppose you are saying about AB plane, about this is the AB plane. So moment of radius of gyration for AB plane is equal to moment of inertia about AB axis divided by area of this surface. Okay, this is the area of this surface. So K formula for radius of gyration, radius of formation formula is K is equal to square root of I by A. Okay, so similar way, if we have to we need to find the radius of gyration about x axis, then we have to write here Ixx, means moment of inertia about x axis divided by A, and Kyy can be written in the similar fashion, that is Iyy divided by A. Okay, so we can write here these two formula, this one formula. Okay, this is the formula for radius of gyration. Now the next term comes in this chapter, that is theorems for moment of inertia. Okay, there are two theorems actually, parallel axis theorem and perpendicular axis theorem. Theorems of moment of inertia. parallel axis theorem and perpendicular axis theorem. Perpendicular axis theorem. Okay, so these theorems will be discussed while solving the problems only.